These M&M cookies may be the best cookie I've ever made, and they're so easy to make. 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup brown sugar, 3/4 cup of sugar. Cream it together till it's nice and fluffy. Mix in 2 eggs and a big dash of vanilla. Add in 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. Stir it really well together until a beautiful dough forms, then add in 2 cups of M&Ms. And try not to eat all of them before the recipe. Portion your dough out into little balls and then top with even more M&Ms. I also dipped a few in M&Ms just to see what would happen. Bake for 10 minutes until they're golden brown. There we have delicious M&M cookies. These honestly are incredible. You've got to try this recipe. Chow is the easiest dessert to make. It's 4 ingredients. Some people call this snack Muddy Buddies. 3 cups of rice Chex. Melt a half cup of chocolate chips. Microwave a half cup of peanut butter for 20 seconds so it gets nice and melty. Pour the Chex into a Ziploc baggie. Pour in the chocolate and the peanut butter. And then shake it up. Shake, 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 Sinora. Plop in 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. And shake again. Shake. Look at that. And there we have Puppy Chow, aka the best snack ever. Believe it or not, this is an egg yolk. It's been drying in salt for a full week, and it's this really fancy chefy thing. Apparently it works as a seasoning on things like pasta, so I need to try this. First, mix together 2 cups of salt and 2 cups of sugar. It's a lot of salt. Pour 2/3 of the salt mixture onto a baking sheet. Spread it. Then you're gonna need some eggs. I'm using 9. You wanna make sure that the egg yolk stays whole and doesn't pop. Place the yolk on top of the salt. Cover the tops of each yolk with a big layer of salt. And pop it in the fridge for 7 days. That's how long it takes.
1 week later.
Time to do a little unboxing. Now we gotta dig out the egg yolk. It's like a little scavenger hunt. There it is. Then we rinse off the egg yolk. Then you're ready to serve. Grate it on top and it makes every dish so much richer. I'm Matthew and I love baguettes. So I set on a quest to make the perfect one. That crunch is insane. And this is how I made them. You only need like 3 ingredients. You need bread flour, instant yeast, salt, give it a little whisk, and tap water. That's it. I formed it into a dough and let it rest for 45 minutes, which would have been fine if I didn't have to do that 4 times. It was worth it in the end. Then I had to let the dough rest even longer. Forming the baguettes was a little bit hard at first, but I got the hang of it. Let them rest again, and then score the top with a sharp blade. I also squirted some water on top for the crust. You bake the baguettes over a dish of boiling water. I also spritzed them with some water while they were baking so they get real crusty. And look at those baguettes. That crust is the best thing ever. It really does not get much better than that. Okay, bye. I'm obsessed with these mini cheesecakes, and they're literally the easiest thing to make. All you have to do is mix together 3 blocks of cream cheese with 2/3 of a cup of sugar, and then add 3 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. Line 2 muffin trays with a cupcake liner. Then place a vanilla wafer at the bottom of each of them. Then fill the cups 3/4 of the way full with the cheesecake batter. Bake the cheesecakes for 25 to 30 minutes until they lightly turn brown on top, and then it's time for the fun part. Add a dollop of your favorite jam or jelly on top, and then top with fresh fruit. I'm doing red, white, and blue for the America theme. This dessert is so easy to whip up, and I promise it tastes incredible. Let's make the viral pasta chips, but without an air fryer because I'm scared of them. First, we gotta grab some pasta. I'm using rigatoni. Grab a pot and boil up some water. Gotta add some salt. Cook for 7 minutes or until al dente. Drain that pasta. Now I'm drying off the noodles so that the oil doesn't splatter on me when we fry them. Season with salt, pepper, oregano, and paprika. A little bit of Parmesan. I also added a tablespoon of cornstarch to absorb all the liquid. Heat up some oil. Pop in the pasta. Fry for a few minutes until those chips are nice and golden brown. There we have pasta chips. Serve with some marinara sauce. I'm gonna give it an honest review. It's really, like, hard. It's not terrible. I mean, I'd eat it. I think I'll stick to normal pasta. It's kind of fun, though. I'm gonna show you the top secret recipe for the world-famous Magnolia Bakery banana pudding. 1½ cups of cold water. 1 can sweetened condensed milk. Give it a good mix. Stir in 1 box of instant vanilla pudding mix, then refrigerate for at least 4 hours. Then whip up 3 cups of cream till it reaches stiff peaks. Then fold the whipped cream into the pudding mix. Now for the best part, the assembly. Crush up a bag of vanilla wafers. In a serving dish, layer pudding, then crumbs, then bananas, then repeat until you're all the way full. After you snap a few pictures of it, enjoy the easiest and best banana pudding ever. Tiramisu is one of those desserts that looks super complicated and fancy, but it's actually so easy to make. It'll impress anyone you make it for. Start by brewing 1½ cups of espresso. To make the cream, start out by separating 6 eggs. Whisk the yolks with 1 cup of sugar and then place it over a pot of boiling water and whisk for 10 more minutes. While that's cooling down, whip up 1⅓ cup of heavy cream until you get whipped cream. Fold in 1¼ cups of mascarpone, which is basically fancy cream cheese, into the egg mixture, and then stir in the whipped cream. To assemble, dip a ladyfinger in the coffee and then place it into a baking dish and repeat until you have a full layer. Then add a thick layer of cream and a dusting of cocoa powder. Repeat that process until you're out of ladyfingers and cream and espresso and chill overnight. Can we just take a second to appreciate those layers? And there we have the best tiramisu ever. This is so good. I highly recommend.